Let's go for a ride down Phil Nelson here in Squamish, BC. This was filmed in June 2026 after a couple of days of rain. And we're just going to do a full run through of this trail to show you what the course involves. See the terrain, see how smooth it is, what sort of obstacles there are. Starting off with a lot of flow, nothing too steep or concerning, especially for young kids to be riding. A couple of fun jumps if they choose to, but as you'll see, everything is a ride over. One of the nice reasons about this trail. Some of the berms are decent size, and as you'll see, there's some juddery barred sections here as well. But nothing that kids, if they're confident in their skills, that they shouldn't be able to handle too easily. Worst case scenario, you can always walk down sections. If it does get very dry, sometimes some of the steeper sections can be a little bit challenging, but between a parent and a child, should all be doable. None of this is too gnarly to walk down. And it's a good way to just build up confidence if you need to, just walking down sections. So most of Phil Nelson, as you'll see, is kind of running across the hill, not straight down the hill. And we do cross a few trails as we go, and a few streams with some cool bridges. If you ever cross this bridge, make sure to look back and see which brand carved the logo and had some involvement in the original setup of it. Earlier in the season, there were some loose rocks over this section, but they've mostly been pushed aside now and pretty safe. We had one small crash early on in the season, but nothing major. Here you can see again the berm's quite sizable with a few pebbles inside, so it helps if your child can get around berms with speed. If they can do that confidently, then this trail is 100% in reach. There are, of course, some extra features for the adults that want to go faster, and this is partly why I wanted to do this series. Was we see the pro riders come down these trails and they absolutely fly, but what does it actually look like for kids? Is it rollable? Is it something that they'll have fun with? And this certainly is. Here you'll see, obviously, we're crossing into Half Nelson, so this is where the two trails combine. And from here again, we've got a bit of a short, flat section ahead. Lots of flow, ups and downs, little optional jumps if they want. You'll see Lucas is just having an absolute riot along these, and picking up some pretty good speed too. So we do put him in full safety gear when he's going fast on the trails. Full face helmet. He's got body armor underneath this, but that's actually pretty new. He rode these without body armor for at least a season. But a very playful trail, which is a lot of fun. Here again, some decent sized berms. Again, can be quite daunting for new riders if it's their first attempt at berms. But if they've had some trails and gentle access to berms, then absolutely doable. Here we're starting to cross into what we call Mini Nelson. It's the lower section of Mini Nelson, and there's a fun loop that you can do where you can pedal up and join in from that bridge. This was actually something that we did early on with Lucas, even on his 16-inch bike. A little bumpy, especially over things like this bridge. And at certain times of the season, we do see some more holes starting to form. But at the moment, June 2026, this trail is running amazingly and super smooth. A 16-inch bike would get down here confidently. We're starting to get into some slightly steeper sections. If they were off the brakes, they would be flying through here. But as long as they've got good brake control and even just rear brake control, Lucas often uses primarily just his rear brake. This section's starting to get a little bit steep, and as we progress a bit further down the hill, you'll see some of the berms are getting a little bit bigger. Don't be afraid to just jump on the trails and give it a go. Walk the sections that you need to walk. Don't force the children into riding things they're not comfortable. But definitely with Lucas on this trail, particularly the Mini Nelson, was our first glimpse into these larger size berms. A big step up from, say, Mickey's Magic and Cadrona. These berms here in particular, in summer, that you can imagine how dry this gets, and it gets a bit sticky. But as I say, if your kid is good at riding berms, they'll navigate these very easily. and grow a lot of confidence and a lot of speed at the same time. So yeah, don't be afraid to walk it. Lucas walked almost all of this on his first attempt. Again, that was on a 16-inch bike, and then when we tried it a second time, he rode maybe everything except for 2 or 3 of the largest berms where we walked through. So make them comfortable, you know, giving them that confidence. There's no shame in walking. If they're scared, no need to push them further. The confidence will come to them as they get ready and as they practice more. Here we finished all of the big berms, just one last little section across, and it does get dusty on these last few corners pretty quickly, but if you can time this after a rain or a few days of rain, it's fantastic through here. And this is coming to an end of the trail, and the work that's been done for 2026 has been fantastic. So huge appreciation to the trail building team.